Hi everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about the Spring Equinox energy. So, for those of you that are new, my name is Mel from Mel's Divination. This video is going to be a little scattered. I'm clipping together a bunch of different videos, and please be patient with that. So it's a little unique. Yesterday, I went to an appointment and went for an adventure, really, and decided to go into nature, and I went for a nice hike in the woods in this area that was near the appointment I was at, through some trails, and I took a video and I'm going to share that with you in this video. So I'm clipping together a bunch of waterfalls and a lake and some streams and some spots, and I was able to record myself. I wasn't sure if the quality was going to come out because I was near water and you can hear the water running. So I wasn't sure at first when I did it if it was going to come out, but it did. So I am going to share that with you as well, and I obviously will be in a different outfit than what I am in now. But I decided to make that this week's video. We had the Spring Equinox on the 20th, so that was on Friday this past week, and this will be coming out tomorrow, Wednesday. So for those of you who are familiar with that, some of you may have celebrated Ostara, and the energy has been very, very, what I would call wacky or draining for those of you that are any kind of empath or sensitive or psychic or anything that is vibrationally aware. And at first I wasn't sure if it was me, if it was the time change. All those kinds of things do affect us as people in general. So sometimes it's just me, and I just kind of brush it off. But as the days ticked on, I started to continuously feel off, what I would say off. Dizzy, lightheaded, ungrounded in general, and I felt that we should talk about this a little bit in my video this week. So what is groundedness? What is that for those of you that are new, for those of you that aren't super familiar with that terminology? Grounded is a term in the spiritual world, in the witch community, in the psychic community. It's a very well-known term, and it's broadly used in our community. It's not just witch, it's not just psychic, it's very well known. And it's something that I have always been aware of, but I didn't know the terminology. And basically what being grounded means is having a center, or knowing you're being in connection with yourself, and being in connection with yourself in the universe, in the world, and being aware of your own body and your soul anchored into your body. That's what they mean by grounded. And at least that's how I've always seen it. And every spirit worker of any kind will have their own definition, of course. I've heard it referred to as rooting yourself, visualizing roots like a plant. I've heard it referred to as putting your feet into the ground. I've heard it referred to as anchoring. There's all different kinds of references out there that you can look up, and I encourage you to do such. But for me, when I'm ungrounded, there's different ways, different signals for me, and I'm sure it's different for everybody. For me, I get dizzy, I can get lightheaded, I can get nauseous, my thoughts get very scattered, almost like anxious, and sometimes anxiety does come up. I get confused, like I feel things that aren't necessarily my feelings, and I don't understand where they're coming from, and I have a hard time focusing. So it's similar to an anxiety type of feeling, and I struggle with daily stuff like I don't understand why I feel weird. I don't understand why I literally sometimes will feel floaty, like I'm floating out of my body. And that's that need to anchor. I have lots of different tools that I use for this. One of them is crystals. I'm wearing a hematite necklace actually right now. There's lots, go back and watch my beginner crystal video. I will link that above. So some of it is crystals. Big ones are water and nature for me. Huge, being near water and being near nature. You need to find what works best for you. I also use a lot of candles. I use a lot of incense and essential oils. And if I can't get outside, I will take baths and those kinds of things. Meditation, journaling, checking in with myself. When things like this equinox happened, when the energy feels funny and I can't quite figure out where it's coming from, because that does happen even now after all these years, I will check in with my fellow readers, friends, energy workers, and be like, hey, I feel weird. What's going on? How do you feel today? Or it's been going on for a couple, I don't always notice it. Like sometimes we all have an off day. So I don't always notice it the first day, like, oh, I just feel funny today. And I do readings for clients. So sometimes it's me absorbing a client's energy and I don't necessarily connect that it's an off energy in general with a portal like the equinox. But as the days tick on and I'm still feeling funny, that's when I start to make the connection like, oh, maybe it's the equinox. Oh, maybe it's the full moon. Oh, maybe it's whatever is going on. So I reach out to my fellow energy workers and say, I feel kind of funky. What are you feeling? I feel this. I feel really tired, or I feel floaty, or I feel funny. I feel dizzy. I feel this. What are you feeling? And often or not, they're feeling their symptoms too. And a lot of times their symptoms are different. Like I have a girlfriend who lives on the other side of the country and she will feel drained when I feel dizzy. She will feel very tired, or she will feel, another one will feel very light and confused. So we all have different symptoms, like I said. So take what resonates with you and do your research and listen to your body, because your body and your intuition is the very first thing that will notify you something's not right. And you need to rest. If it tells you you need to rest, you need to rest. If it tells you you need to slow down, sometimes you need to eat. Sometimes you need to drink water. Sometimes you need to fast. Sometimes you need to detox from people. It really depends. So when I had this opportunity the other day to go for a walk away from people in nature, I was like, yes, I need this. And it completely recentered me, and I was 100% different feeling energetically afterwards. And it got me back into connection with myself and back on track, back hearing myself, because I had been meditating 3 times a day and it still wasn't working. So sometimes certain tools that you use, at least for me, sometimes they're not working. Like, okay, I've meditated like 3 times today. Why isn't this helping me? And it's because, all right, you've overused this tool, like a battery being drained, like you've overdone it. This isn't working. You need to try something different. So that's why, like, okay, I need to get into nature, like really get into nature, away from everybody, and see if that helps. And sure enough, it was like the flip of a switch. So I just wanted to talk about that for a few minutes here. I'm not going to take up any more of your time today. It's been a fun ride with this equinox, and usually equinoxes don't affect me. It's usually the solstices, the winter and the summer solstices that hit me. So obviously, depending on where you are in the world, you may not be having the spring equinox. You might be having the fall equinox if you're on the other hemisphere. But here I'm in the northern equinox Northern Hemisphere, sorry. And I love spring. I look forward to it every year, and I love when things start to come back alive and being outside and in the sunshine and the warmth and the animals, and I absolutely love it. So it was funny that I got thrown off and kind of in a funk, because this is one of my favorite times of year that I look forward to. So the energies are funny for me right now, and I'm just taking it one day at a time and not rushing, and just listening to my body and actually moving more, because that's what my body needs to move that energy out. Exercising more, walking more, getting out more, and it's flushing out that energy, whatever it is that's inside that's not helpful. So I comment down below if you're feeling funny, or if you're having similar symptoms, or what your symptoms are. And I hope this helps you. I hope it gives you some ideas and guidance and grounding. And another way to ground is to put your feet right on the ground, flat on the ground, outside. Get outside barefoot, put your feet on the ground, or put your feet in the water, or put your hands in the water, or put your feet, get in the bathtub, something like that. That stuff works too. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to now share my clipped together videos for the remainder of this video of my adventures yesterday in the woods. If you are not a woods person, I recommend you make sure you wear proper shoes, and make sure you have your hands free so that you can climb when you're going up and down slopes. I grew up in the woods, just as a quick disclaimer. I went on this little adventure not wearing good shoes. The shoes were very flat. They didn't have good grips. And I had my hands, I had my phone, I had my purse, and I'm kind of like flinging around. I grew up playing in the woods. I grew up in a very rural, woodsy area, and I am very familiar with how to get up and down trails and hills and rocks and navigate all that. So it's like riding a bike for me, but there definitely were moments that I was slipping on acorns and leaves, thinking, oh God, my shoulder, please don't let me mess up my shoulder. So yeah, it was definitely like, oh, this was not the smartest idea, but it worked out fine. So if you're not familiar with hiking or how to get around in the woods, make sure you wear good shoe attire. Tell people where you're going, because I didn't tell anybody. Have phones with you in case of an emergency, and be smart about it. Use common sense. So yeah, just be smart about it. Don't do what I did because I'm not one to set an example for anybody. So be safe, use common sense, okay? With that, I share with you my piece of heaven that I found and adventured in. Hey everyone, so I don't know if you can hear me. I'll find out when I play this back. But I just wanted to share with you this gorgeous scene. I found this tree that I am sitting on right now. For those of you that don't know me well, I grew up in Rhode Island, and I played in the woods a lot as a kid. And right now, I don't have the best shoes on to be exploring. I don't know if you can see them, but I'm in between doctor's appointments right now, and I'm stuck a good hour away from my house. And I knew about this park that is near the appointments that I'm at. And I was like, you know what, let me go down to these trails and hang out and meditate and try to take some video and pictures and use them. So I decided to go ground myself and center. I don't have any makeup on. I have no idea if I even look okay. I don't really care. So I decided to do that. And I figured I'd share this with you guys. Look at this gorgeous scene. And there's nobody around. There's a bridge behind me, and I'll share that later. I don't know if you can see the bridge behind me, but there is a bridge with a waterfall behind me. And water is just so cleansing and purifying and grounding, and it amplifies energy. So that's what I decided to do today. I decided I have a good hour, and I decided I'm slipping and sliding, like trying to climb down this little hill to get down like through the leaves. I don't have good shoes on, so if you decide to and you're not familiar with hiking, make sure you wear good shoes so you don't hurt yourself. It's been a few years since I've walked through the woods and decided to try this because it's been a bit. But I grew up doing it, so it's like old riding a bike, old muscle memory kind of thing. So just out here, wanted to share the view and the beautiful scenery. It is about 50 degrees here today, so it's gorgeous. And the sun's out and it's warm and the spring is finally coming. And in a few more months, there's going to be so many bugs that it's going to be hard to handle, and so much greenery that it'll be difficult to walk through this space. But because it's that time of year that the bugs aren't really out yet and the green hasn't really sprouted yet, I'm able to come over here, which it's great for me. So I'm going to sit and meditate for a while and set some intentions along that spring equinox energy and bring in some great stuff. So I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I'll see you guys all soon. and I will see you guys all in the next video. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Please comment little slices of heaven that you have and how you were feeling this equinox. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.